The darker side of this was colonialism. That is, when people experienced and they saw new countries of the world, they felt that those countries are not meant just for exploration, but were meant for actually conquest. And this conquest led to political, social, economic and religious exploitation of other countries. So the weak countries had a bad time when there was the shaping of the world economy continuing, because these rich countries, developed countries of the West felt that Asia and Africa were the best places from wherein they could extract as much as possible, and they could become the masters of their economy and run it in the manner that they felt was actually best suited for their economies. And as we have seen of India, when Britishers, the French, the Dutch, the Portuguese, all of them had a competition here and they wanted to become the masters of India. Of course, the Britishers succeeded, but then there were others who had their share in some or the other part of India, which means leading to the destruction, the ruin of the economy. Well, this also meant, as I said earlier, that the diseases were also being carried from one country to another. Now, how can we talk about this carrying of disease? It can be well explained by giving you an example of Africa. At that time, Africa was a land which had lots of land, that is, people had lots of land, but the population was very less, and most of them dependent on for their livelihood on land and livestock, which means that nobody was ready to work as laborers. There was no need. They were self-sufficient. They could get everything from the land and from the livestock. Now, this meant that there was a problem for the Britishers and others who were looking for exploration here, for conquest here. From where would they get laborers? But it seemed as if God helped them. It so happened that in the late 1880s in Africa, they spread a disease called Rinderpest, which was a cattle plague, and this was brought there by the infected cattle which was imported from British Asia. When those cattle came there actually, and they infected the cattle of Africa, that means loss of livestock there, the major livelihood of the Africans, and the disease spread like fire. So many of the cattle died because of this Rinderpest. So the Africans lost their major occupation and they joined the labor force. That is, most of them had to work as laborers because they had no money now. And you see that the African economy slowly like this passes into the European hands, because they have become economically weak. They are ready to work for the outsiders at low price and are not strong enough to defend themselves, which means Rinderpest has played a havoc in the life of the Africans and has paved the way for colonization in Africa for the Europeans. I continue with the story in the next clipping.